Alright, so I'm gonna start by saying, if you have not watched part 1, go watch that. A lot of the stuff in this video won't make sense, and it's just common courtesy to watch part 1 before part 2. Not that I'm doubting you have, but yeah, if you decide to watch this video and you haven't watched part 1 yet, I'm going to give you a 1 star and dress to impress, okay? What was I talking about? Oh, right, Disney. So, this was day 2. We went to, no, what day was this? I really need to script these. This was day 4. We went to Magic Kingdom, rode the bus. So, the Dolphin Resort, it used to have normal Disney bus transit. It used to have normal Disney bus transit with the rest of the Disney bus system, but I don't know, after some bad land negotiations with Disney, because the Swan is technically owned by Marriott, that's actually why we got it for so cheap, because, you know, bad land negotiations. Now the Swan has its own bus service that's kind of mediocre. They partnered with Mears, which is actually the same company that ran the Disney's Magical Express in collaboration with Disney until 2021. But yeah, they collaborated with Mears and started doing this bus service between all of the different resorts. However, it wasn't important enough to, like, get the fancy priorities of just normal basic bus stops, so we always had to go to, like, the charter lots and stuff, or in the case of Magic Kingdom, the Transportation and Ticketing Center. Now, what is the Transportation and Ticketing Center, I hear you ask? Well, its nickname is sort of the parking lot of Magic Kingdom, because, you know, Magic Kingdom, and I'm not entirely sure why, but Magic Kingdom is way busier than the rest of the parks. I'm not sure if some people just go to Disney World to only go to Magic Kingdom, or if people plan to have multiple Magic Kingdom days because it's generally a more busy park. I don't know, but point is, Magic Kingdom is really busy, so they couldn't fit a big enough parking lot near Magic Kingdom without just making the whole place depressing. So they instead shoved the parking lot on the other side of the lake, and people, when they park, they have to take either a monorail or a boat to Magic Kingdom. Or, if you're staying at a third-party resort that isn't owned by Disney, like we're doing, you get to take some weird third-party bus to the Transportation and Ticketing Center, and then they basically say, okay, there, now figure it out, get to Magic Kingdom. Which isn't necessarily hard. You could either take the monorail or the boat. We, of course, took the monorail because the frequency is a lot better, and I think it's faster. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, rode the bus to Magic Kingdom. Yeah. Oh, it's an articulated bus. Okay, this is where I'm putting the camera over. Articulated bus. Yeah. There's only 12 articulated buses left. The articulated buses are kind of rare. There's only 12 of them left in the fleet, and they're not used that much. They're only used, like, on really busy routes during really busy times. Oh, right, I also wanted to talk about how much I hate bus wraps. I really hate bus wraps. Bus wraps are the bane of my existence. I already hated them before this trip, but I swear this trip made me hate bus wraps so much more. You can clearly see how hard it is to film out of bus wraps. So, my anger is at least a little bit justified. Like, I understand why they do bus wraps to be all festive. And, you know, for agencies back home, like Valley Metro, they do it as advertisements sometimes. And, you know, I understand why people would like bus wraps, but you're just making it harder to see out of the windows, which isn't fair. And to be clear, it's only wraps over the windows that I don't like. They do this sort of hole punchy thing in the... What are wraps made of? I think, like, plastic? I don't know. I'm not a wrap guy. I hate them too much to research them anymore, you know? But yeah, they have sort of holes over the window, so you can still kind of see out of them, but as you can see, it's not the greatest to see out of, especially to film out of, because you gotta get it really close, and you'll still sort of have that mesh texture over your video. or you set it a little far back and it'll focus on the mesh instead of what's outside. But yeah, I really hate bus wraps. I think it should be like illegal to put wraps over windows because it's honestly just mean. And you know, this bus in particular, they put a wrap that wasn't see-through on the back windows. Like, I mean, that's just a whole nother level of hostile towards bus fans. I mean, yeah. Anyway, we arrived at the Transportation and Ticketing Center. We passed by a bunch of really cool-looking buses that were parked here for some reason. Ooh, a Nova bus. Toy Story bus. Another Swan Dolphin bus. A Mears bus. Okay, we need to talk about this particular bus, this third generation Nova Bus LFS parked here between the two character buses. These things are very rare already, like I knew that, so I was kind of joyed to see one of these, but I've searched the entire internet, and you know, notice like sort of near the roof, near the front, it says 5003. That's its fleet number, and that's sort of that's the individual number of every single bus in the fleet. And at like looking online, I could not find any other pictures of 5003 in particular. So I think I might actually have the only image of this bus, like at all. Like, and if someone knows where there is another image of this exact bus, let me know. Like, I'm curious, but I really do think that I might have the only picture of this bus. Like, the other Nova buses I saw on the trip, I was able to find, like, other pictures of them, but this one in particular, I cannot find any other trace of it online. So, yeah, I think I might have the only picture of this bus. But, yeah, I took a picture of our bus as we got out. Yeah. Just got some cool shots here. Oh, yeah, you see, we got to see a lot of monorail action now that we were at the Transportation and Ticketing Center. That's the silver one passing over. The silver one is probably my second least favorite. It's better than the peach monorail, but it's still kind of bland. There's the teal monorail again. Teal monorail is okay. I can't tell what monorail color that is. That might be gold. But, yeah, we got on a monorail and rode it. Yeah. Man, the coolness to a monorail going through a hotel will never fail to impress me.
Look at that.
Where's Chef Mickey?
Chef Mickey, woo. I mean, we've eaten here, but we haven't stayed here.
We've shopped in their shop.
Wait, what? It didn't even stop.
Yeah, because the other one.
Yeah, so it turns out our monorail was an express monorail. It just went straight from the Transportation Center to Magic Kingdom. I didn't even know that was a thing, so it was kind of delightful to not have to stop at Contemporary. But yeah, long story short, we made it to Magic Kingdom in one piece. Not like I expected us not to. Walked down Main Street, which was all decked out in fall Halloween-y ornaments, which, you know, I always love to see. Headed over to Adventureland. Oh yeah, there's our train. What did we do first? I think we did Splash Mountain first. I didn't ride it because I'm a baby. It's choo-choo time! Okay, so after having some quality choo-choo time, we rode, I want to say, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's always a good coaster. And then it was getting close to lunchtime, so we headed over to where our lunch reservations were at this one fancy restaurant on Main Street, USA. Yeah, so I'm gonna rant about this for a little bit. There was this one kid that was just loudly screaming, and his parents' solution was to get their, 7-year-old daughter to frickin' put a cloth on his head. I don't know, that just pissed me off, and I wanted to rant about it. I swear, the types of parents I was around at Disney really made me much more grateful for my parents.
I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? My phone is wet.
Then we, walked over and rode It's a Small World. Unpopular opinion, I think it's not a very good ride. It's just boring and the music gets stuck in your head. I don't know, that's just me though. I get why people like it. Sorta. I mean, worst case scenario, I can just scroll on my phone whilst riding it. Oh yeah, there's also a restaurant that overlooks It's a Small World. We ate there once. That was a long time ago though. Then we rode the Barnstormer, which is this very cutesy and simple kids roller coaster. I still enjoyed it though. It's choo-choo time! I know, right? Then we rode the Little Mermaid ride. Believe me, it's just as boring in Disney World as it is in Disneyland, but, it was a break from the heat. Wait, weren't there only clouds on that day? Yeah, I don't know, I guess we just rode that ride for no reason. Squirrel! The mascot of ADHD. Then there was the Dumbo ride where you rode on, flying elephants that spun in circles attached to, mechanical arms. It was a decent ride, I still prefer things that are more thrilling, but it was okay. You could also watch the Barnstormer while you were waiting in line for it. It was then that we realized that the Barnstormer's propeller actually spun, but it was controlled by the wind, so it only spun when the roller coaster was going fast. They had this cute train-themed water play area. It was also about now that we rode on the actual train. It's choo-choo time!
Looks like we're on our way, and I'm so glad that you're with us. Next leg of our journey takes us to Main Street, USA. We'll head for Frontierland after that. Stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs inside the train. Please keep an eye on the para su seguridad. Permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos y piernas dentro del...
Alright, into the tunnel we go.
Next up, place the door to the head and out the door ready.
After this on Mansion, hour or two, we're going to the plant. But then I figure Tomorrowland, right now. Right here in Space Mountain for those.
Oh, I didn't know this
And
existed.
it's cross over there also. I don't know what time your parade is. I don't know what time your show is. I don't know if we want to stop and snack, but there's a gap there.
Oh, there's the black monorail over there.
We'll be in Tomorrowland by then.
Man, the choo-choo and the so perfect.
Howdy, folks. If you're just joining us, a hearty welcome aboard. We're heading for our next stop, Fantasyland, before carrying on to Main Street, USA. Everybody stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little ones. Para su seguridad.
Is that for Big Town? Did you see that? Depot track that went over the train track. Yeah.
Those of you who've been riding with me for a spell already know how much I love minding this railroad. But those times I'm fixing for something a bit wilder, Big Thunder Mountain is the place. Because there, the trains have a mind of their own.
River time. That's a nice river. Anyway, let me make this train ride more exciting by playing some very good and non-copyright music that I made. It's choo-choo time! It's choo-choo time! Trains are cool.
Complete stop. Gather your juggling pins, unicycles, and other belongings, and carry your strollers away from the platform before unfolding. That way we can start loading up for the next leg of our trip. For those disembarking, please watch your step, and thanks for traveling with us. I hope you join us again real soon. If you're staying aboard, our next stop is Main Street Station.
See, I told you the music would help. The train ride's already over. We also came across these cool slugs. I did some research. I believe they're called the Florida leatherleaf slugs. Good thing we didn't touch them because they apparently carry parasites, but yeah, that was cool. Slugs are cool. Then to escape from the heat, we went inside and watched this show about presidents. It was okay. Then we rode Haunted Mansion. Anyway, it was dinner time, but dinner is overrated, so we just had pretzels. Alright, let's go ride Tron. Woo woo. I was wrong. We're actually not gonna ride Tron now. Hey, it's a people mover. There was also this one store that had a people mover passing through it. That was really cool. Man, those people movers going through the roof are the coolest. Alright, now it's really time to ride Tron. Anyway, we rode Tron, and it was a good ride, you know. I love how Disney's been able to make just the greatest ride out of the most obscure movies. But yeah, Tron was a very good ride. It was kind of straining on my neck. But other than that, yeah, I really liked it. The section right after the outside section, you sort of go into this dark room with a bunch of light effects. It's really cool. It feels very surreal. Anyway, after that, we rode the People Mover. You know, a typical staple of Tomorrowland. The People Mover is cool because it passes straight through the middle of many things. Oh, hello, guys! Don't worry, there's no roller coaster.
Affirmative. We're on it, Buzz. You can count on us.
Oh wow, yeah, this people mover just passes through everything. After that, we rode the Buzz Lightyear ride, and then watched fireworks. As any Disney guest usually finds out the hard way, Main Street USA right after a fireworks show is absolute chaos. Now, we weren't planning on leaving, but you know, Grandma was wounded in battle, so we needed to go get her some medical treatment at the first aid thing, which was sort of over by the entrance, so we still had to pass through the crazy crowds. Anyway, we were gonna go back the way we came and take the monorail, but let me tell you, that thing was more packed than a New York City subway, so we decided to take the boat instead, because in hindsight it seemed less packed than the monorail. But behind that one wall, we quickly found out that the boat line was just as long as the monorail line, and the boat was overall just an awful experience. It wasn't air conditioned, there was no seating, and it was pretty infrequent. It was just everybody pile onto the boat, let's go. Anyway, then eventually we made it to the transportation center, and there goes our bus leaving right in front of us. So yeah, we had to wait a little bit longer, which I wasn't mad about. I could just film buses and be nerdy and autistic. It's a silver bus. Now, we thought all of our problems were over, but up pulls a motor coach. Now, I like motor coaches, and I'm sure they like me too, but it's not ideal for a mobility scooter, because since Grandma's technically able to transfer, they just, dismantled it and threw the scooter into the luggage compartment, which is a little bit of a pain, but oh well, that's their problem. Now, I could just let this entire 8-minute long bus ride video play out whilst I add absolutely no meaningful commentary over it, but this isn't a Sniper Wolf video, so let's talk about the bus we're on. So Mears Transportation and Disney used to have this business relationship together, where Mears would help them run the Magical Express airport buses and the cruise line buses. And I'm pretty sure the bus that we rode on is a former cruise line bus. To start off, it's a Van Hool CX-45, and based off of the vertically stacked headlights, I'd say it's probably about from 2017, which matches up with when most of the cruise line buses are from. And also, it has a similar livery. They both have that sort of big stripe that has a rounded tip at the end of it. They also have similar numbers. You see the bus we rode on, it has the number 2234, and I found this cruise line bus on Google Maps Street View with the number 2236. Now, of course, it's not the same number, but because of how close those two numbers are, they're like 2 digits apart, it's likely that they were a part of the same fleet and basically brothers to an extent. But hey, I guess I can't have definitive proof until I find a picture of 2234 still in a cruise line livery, which seems pretty possible, but there's also the issue of copyright and image credit. I can't just show some random image I found off of the internet. There's rules around that. And I just made fun of Sniper Wolf, so it would be kind of ironic for me to steal someone's content right after. So yeah, that concludes day 4. Now, on to day 5, Animal Kingdom. Anyway, we all sorta had PTSD from the last night because of how problematic that commute was, so we decided to go for plan B. B as in Boardwalk. The boardwalk is this resort that's like a walking distance away from our resort. But point is, we walked to that resort because it's a normal Disney resort and it has normal Disney bus transit. That's what we were going to do. And you know, we made it there successfully and then we just waited for an Animal Kingdom bus to show up. And show up it eventually did. Now, this was one of the older buses because it had the wrap design that featured the characters in the windows instead of plastered over the side. So, my lord, this bus was bumpy as crap. It was a rough ride. It felt like every time we went around a corner, the entire frame of the bus just shifted and made a bunch of crashing noises. It's okay though, we made it to Animal Kingdom in one piece. We made it past the entrance and all, and now we were in the park. And you know, it had like that sort of African wildlife safari sort of architecture all over the place. Plus the whole place was just really luscious. I realize now that Animal Kingdom is basically just a zoo but Disneyified. Is that an otter? That's an otter. Yeah, they had otters. Otters are cute. The first thing we did was go to the, Lion King show. You know, it's always a fun thing to watch. Before the show, there was, these couple of toddlers that kept running out into the center of the performance area. It was kind of funny. Eventually, their parents got them to stop. I'm not going to show that for the sake of their privacy, and I just don't want those kids to be humiliated when they grow up if this video ever becomes popular. I don't remember what this creature was, but it looks like a platypus, alligator, lizard hybrid. I think this is supposed to be the monkey enclosure because you can hear my slightly disappointed self say, "Where are the monkeys? Where are the monkeys?" And this was the tiger enclosure. I'm in Burbland. Burbland. For lunch, we ate at the Yak and Yeti, which is objectively superior to every other restaurant in Disney because they actually have Dr. Pepper. Anyway, my dad planned for us to ride Expedition Everest right after lunch, but I made the executive decision that going on the most intense roller coaster at the park right after having a big lunch wasn't the greatest idea, so we ended up watching this show about birds. It's called Feathered Friends in Flight. It was decent.
Yeah, he's good, right? Wow.
Anyway, I know you all love trains a lot, so, as a wise man once said, it's choo-choo time. Oh, it goes off in that direction, okay. Now, I care about and appreciate my viewers, so I'm not going to make you listen to the Choo Choo Time song a second time, but I will show you some highlights of the trip.
Welcome aboard the Wildlife Express, whose service took all the way back to Walt Disney himself and his long-standing passion for conservation. He believed it was important that we protect our wildlife.
Anyway, once we got off the train, we went and checked out Rafiki's conservation station thing, which is kind of interesting because the last time we came here, it was closed. So this is, I think, the first time we've been here. They had all sorts of cool stuff in it, but all that really matters is the axolotl. Look at this guy wiggling around. I like toys. tortoises. Hey, look, it's a dragon. Rawr. And whilst we were waiting for the train to take us back, we came into contact with some of the local squirrel population.
Where did it go? Gooses like fell out of favor. You can imagine how dangerous it would be to have these people standing in the caboose 100 cars down from the beginning.
Yeah.
Serious yoink.
Anyway, since Grandma had a mobility scooter, she basically gave us priority on the train. Because they try to load the mobility scooters first, just so it's easier and so there aren't other passengers in the way. So I got to pick whatever car I wanted. And I chose the back one so I could, film out at the very back. And it worked, it was nice. Before we got moving, the conductor lady actually came up to my car and asked me if I wanted to go up and blow the train whistle. I said no because I didn't want to give away my seat, and because this isn't the first time this kind of thing has happened to me.
Give it you too. Alright.
But yeah, that's a story for another time. Let me know if you want me to make a video talking about my Disneyland trip earlier this year. I definitely have enough clips to make another commentary style video like this about it, but if I do decide to do it, I'm not going to do it until this series is complete.
Just to make sure that they were in really dilapidated condition.
Remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop, and please be sure to watch your children as you exit. Go well, and remember, preserving.
Alright, this final thud is gonna be rough.
Then we rode Kilimanjaro Safari. I think that's the first real ride we did that day, which is kind of depressing because I'm pretty sure it was 4 p.m. by then, but that's fine, we had a second Animal Kingdom day planned. Yeah, it was a fun ride, I enjoyed seeing the animals and stuff. What else? I also really enjoyed the parts where the truck drove through the water. Now, there was this one day where it absolutely poured whilst we were riding that ride, and it basically turned into a jungle cruise, but that story is completely irrelevant right now. I'll tell that story later, probably in part 4. But yeah, if you want to watch the full unedited Safari video, that is certainly an option. I just made this 20-minute long unedited version of it. Or maybe it's edited a bit, but mostly unedited version of it up on my YouTube channel you can go watch. After that, we decided to party our way on over to Pandora and rode that, Avatar Rite of Passage ride where you fly on an Ikron. It was very cool and realistic. Then we went over and rode the, Navi River Journey ride. You know, there was this one time in 2018 that the ride broke down and we got stuck in front of this singing shaman lady, so we sort of have PTSD whenever we go here and see her. Well, long story short, our Animal Kingdom day was over. We left Animal Kingdom. Some unimportant bus nerdery happened, but more importantly, look at this really good picture I got of a Figment bus. I'm still proud of this. But yeah, our bus arrived pretty quickly. It was the Zootopia bus. I hate the Zootopia bus slightly less than I hate the other wrap buses, because at least the wrap looks nice on the outside, and they actually tried to make it sort of go with what the bus looks like, instead of just being this random design slapped on the side of a bus with no further thought. But I still don't like the fact that it covers the windows with fake windows. And as if getting a wrapped bus wasn't bad enough already, this bus had lots of loud children on it. Whether it be that presumably hungry baby that kept whining, or those toddlers that kept chanting, "The bus is going! The bus is going really fast!" It really, yeah, there's nothing I hate more than children being loud on public transportation. I know that this is not technically public transportation because Disney is a privately owned company, but you get the idea.
Tunnel time.
Now, I was trying to get all 4 of the wrapped transportation bus toys because I like collecting these things. There's a 2024 themed one, a Star Wars themed one, a Guardians of the Galaxy themed one, and a Toy Story themed one. I had already managed to get the Guardians of the Galaxy themed, or not, no, I got the Star Wars themed one first. And I wanted to find the 2 rest of them, and a lady at Animal Kingdom told us we needed to go to Disney Springs to get them. So, well, the rest of my family walked back to the hotel. Me and Dad stayed and waited for a Disney Springs bus. And a Disney Springs bus actually took a really long time to arrive. I swear, the schedules kept jumping around, like, it would take another 4 minutes for a bus to arrive. It would just change every 4 minutes. Anyway, imagine our surprise when 2 Disney Springs buses showed up, like, right next to each other. That was funny. So we basically got choices. I could either ride the Ratatouille bus or the Donald bus. I chose the Donald bus because the Donald bus didn't have wraps over the frickin' windows. Anyway, we made it to Disney Springs. I filmed basically none of this because my phone died. We got the bus. Well, we couldn't find the Toy Story bus, but we did find the Guardians of the Galaxy bus. Anyway, once we needed to go back to our hotel, we went up to the stop where boardwalk buses stop, and hey look, there were 2 silver buses right next to each other. I mean, silver buses are already kinda rare, but the fact that there was 2 of them sitting right there, that was kinda cool. Now, I had my dad take these pictures of them, and he agreed because Hims is a cool guy. But as we were on our way back, and I got, like, literally no footage of this, but as we were on our way back, we actually passed the first silver bus that we almost got on. It was on the side of the road, pulled over, doors open, lights on, surrounded by emergency vehicles like ambulances and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I still haven't been able to find out any information regarding what exactly happened to that bus on that bus. I've looked all social media and news articles and haven't been able to find anything about it. So I don't know, if anyone watching this video knows anything about this, I would be very delighted if you were to pitch in whatever information you know. But yeah, as I got back to, like, the pool area at my hotel, you could just see over some shrubs. There were a bunch of, like, sirens and police lights all over the place. My family is just like, "Oh man, what happened here?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we passed them. That was a bus that we almost got on." So yeah, that basically concludes the day. I think I'm gonna end part 2 here because the video is like roughly 40 minutes long, which is a good length. That was about the length of part 1. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. Have a good day. Tip your waitresses, all that good stuff. Bye.